LR circuits are circuits with a resistor and an inductor. And we'll first consider the case where the inductor is charging. So when the switch is closed, and applying Kirchhoff's voltage law, we have the EMF provided by the battery minus the voltage drop across the inductor, which is the inductance by the rate of change of the current with respect to time, as we saw from Faraday's law. So some of the electrical energy provided by the EMF gets stored in the magnetic field of the inductor, and some of the energy will be dissipated by the resistor. So this expression is equal to 0. So note that this is the current, which is a function of time. So we can take the derivative on one side. So that's equal to epsilon minus IR. And then separating the variables, we get di on epsilon minus IR is equal to 1 on L dt. And now we can integrate both sides. So applying U substitution, we can set U to be equal to the expression in the denominator, and therefore du is minus R di. And then we can rewrite this integral. So we have minus 1 on R by the integral of du on U. So therefore this evaluates to minus 1 on R by the natural log of U. So we have the natural log of epsilon minus the current at time t by the resistance. And on the right hand side, we get 1 on L by t plus a constant of integration. So if we multiply through by minus R, we get minus R on L by t, and minus R by this constant is just another constant. So we have another constant of integration. And now taking e to the power of both sides, we have epsilon minus I of t by R is equal to e by minus R on L by t plus C2. So this is the same thing as e to the minus R on L by t multiplied by e to the C2. And therefore this here is just another constant. And now we can apply our initial condition. So initially when a switch is closed, the inductor allows no current to go through it. So the electrical energy is being stored in the magnetic field of the inductor. So what we have is I of 0 is 0. So that gives epsilon is C3 by e to the 0, which is C3. And therefore this constant of integration is equal to the EMF. And therefore the current as a function of time by the resistance is equal to the EMF by 1 minus e to the minus R on L by t. And now if we divide through by the resistance, we get the following expression for the current as a function of time. And we can take the time constant as the inductance on the resistance. So therefore this expression becomes T on tau. And we'll see the significance of this time constant when we analyze the solution. Now we'll look at the case for when the inductor is discharging. So when we charge up this inductor, this switch was closed, and we have the EMF provided by the battery minus the inductance by the change in current minus the current by the resistance was equal to 0 by Kirchhoff's loop rule. And after the current reaches a steady state, where the electrical energy from the EMF source is stored in the magnetic field of the inductor behaves like a wire. So remember, by Faraday's law, only the changes in current induce an EMF in the inductor. So now we open the switch and remove the battery, where we start to discharge the inductor. So we remove the battery and then close this switch. So therefore we have the inductance by the change in current is equal to minus the current by the resistance. And separating the variables, we get di on I is equal to minus r on L dt. And now we can integrate both sides. So that gives the natural log of the current is equal to minus r on L by t plus a constant of integration. And if we take e to the both sides, we get the current is another constant of integration by e to the minus r on L by t. So note that when we charged up the inductor, the current reached a steady state and the inductor acts like a wire. So therefore from this expression, we had the EMF of the battery minus I by R is equal to 0 under steady state conditions. So therefore the current at time t equals 0, when this inductor begins to discharge, is equal to the EMF on the resistance. And this is our initial condition for our discharging ODE. So applying this initial condition, we have I of 0 is C2 by e to the 0. So the constant of integration is the EMF that was provided by the battery on R, which is the initial current through the inductor that initially behaves like a wire. And again, taking our time constant as the inductance on the resistance, then we can rewrite this as e to the minus t on tau. And we'll analyze the time constant in more detail when we analyze this solution. Let's analyze the solution first for the case when the inductor is charging, or when the electrical energy provided by the EMF source is stored in the magnetic field of the inductor. So when this switch is closed, we have the current at time 0 being 0, and that increases gradually as t goes to infinity, and asymptotes at epsilon on R. Now if we differentiate this expression, we get di dt, which is equal to minus 1 on tau which is R on L, by epsilon on R, e to the minus t on tau. So the R's cancel, and we get the EMF on the inductance. So at t equals 0, the change in current is the highest at epsilon on L, and then as t goes to infinity, the change in current drops until the current approaches a steady state, where the change in current is 0. So this behavior makes sense because the back EMF, by Faraday's law, is minus the inductance by the change in current. So initially when the switch is just closed, we have an induced EMF in the inductor that's equal in magnitude and opposite in direction to the applied potential difference due to the battery across the branch containing the inductor. And as the change in current decreases, then the current in the circuit gradually increases until it reaches steady state conditions. So the potential difference across the inductor and the current across the inductor, as well as the energy stored in the inductor, which recall is 1/2 by the inductance by the square of the current, are exponential with respect to time, and asymptote when steady state conditions are reached. Now the time constant tau measures how quickly an LR circuit will reach a steady state and is equal to the inductance on the resistance. Or if there's more resistors in a circuit, this may be the equivalent resistance. So in this case, for an inductor with an initially 0 current, we can substitute T is equal to tau, and therefore I of tau is equal to the EMF on the resistance by 1 minus e to the minus 1. So therefore this expression evaluates as 0.63. So the time constant in this case represents the time required for the current in the inductor to reach approximately 63% of its final asymptotic value. Now for the case where the inductor is discharging, so initially it has stored energy in its magnetic field, when we close the switch, the current starts at epsilon on R and then reduces gradually and asymptotes to 0. And again, if we differentiate the current with respect to time, we get minus 1 on tau, which is R on L, by epsilon on R, by e to the minus t on tau. So the R's cancel, and we get minus epsilon on L. So initially, the change in current is minus epsilon on L, and it gradually increases and asymptotes to 0. So essentially in this case, the energy stored in the magnetic field of the inductor is decreasing. Now in this case, for the inductor with an initial current, if we substitute the time constant into this expression, then we get I of tau is equal to epsilon on R by e to the minus 1, which is around 0.37 by epsilon on R. So in this case, the time constant represents the time required for the current in the inductor to reach 37% of its initial value. And note that under steady state conditions, the change in current approaches zero in both cases. So therefore at a time much greater than the time constant of the circuit, the inductor behaves like a conducting wire with zero resistance. Consider the following circuit with an inductor and resistors, and part A asks what is the current at the instant when the switch is moved to R. So that completes the circuit on the right, and at the instant when the switch is closed at a time of 0, the inductor is not going to allow any current to flow through it. So it provides a backward EMF that opposes the EMF provided by the battery. And the change in current is the highest at this point in time. So therefore the current flowing through the circuit immediately when the switch is closed is 0. Now in part B, after a steady state is reached, what is the current in the circuit? Well, remember by Faraday's law, when the current is steady, then there's no back EMF produced by the inductor, and therefore it behaves like a wire. So the current in the circuit is the voltage or EMF provided by the battery under resistance by Ohm's law. So that's equal to 1 amp. Now in part C, the switch is moved to L, so the circuit is open on the right and it's a closed loop on the left. Find the current through the resistor and the potential difference across the inductor. So the inductor was initially charged because the steady state was reached, and therefore the current through this circuit is the same as this current reached at the steady state. So this becomes an initial condition at t equals 0 at the instant when the inductor is discharging is equal to 1 amp. And the potential difference across the inductor at this instant is the same as the potential difference across the resistor by Kirchhoff's voltage law. So we have the EMF is the current by the resistance, which is 1 amp by 3 ohms, or 3 volts.